So now that I just made a video about whether Microsoft fits the definition of cult, I'm going to get this question, so I'm just preempting it. Well, can we have good cults? This is also the question I get as soon as people understand that I wrote a book about the army being a cult. And I think the first problem is when we define good as making money or high firepower. Like what makes Microsoft a good organization? Explain. So that's my first response. I'm Daniella, scholar of cults, extreme groups, and extremely bad leadership. And you can get autographed copies of Uncultured there or up there. But I don't believe in good cults. And here's why. First of all, I grew up in a cult, so I just have another perspective than most of the cult experts and cult scholars out there. I do not agree there can be good cults. Other experts disagree with me, but here's why. First of all, my definition of cult has consistent self-sacrifice, which harms individuals, and exploitation of labor, and ends justifies the means mentality, which are bad things. But when I hear someone say, can I have a good cult? First of all, the arrogance to think that you will build a good one. Everyone else's has gone wrong, but yours is going to be good. That's quite some arrogance there. Unsurprising that I usually get this question from white men. But second of all, what I hear when someone says, can I have a good cult, is can I hack human behavior, induce more motivation than normally possible in order to get free labor out of people? But I promise I'll do it for the good guys. No, there are no good cults. Cults are the most extreme form of group. Cults are about labor. They're about manipulation, coercive control in order to get labor. So no, there are no good cults. It always hurts the individual. And this leads into my question when people say, well, what about good groups? So the first step of being a good group, I think, is you can't consider yourself a good group. Otherwise, you're going to stop being a good group. But really, when someone asks me, is this a good group? I have one answer. Show me where the organization loses so that the individual can win. Because good and bad are not scientific terms. But for a system to be self-sustaining, or for a system to be valid, it must be self-sustaining. Capitalism is not, because the individual always loses for the good of the group. And that is why capitalism always ends in fascism. Because the group is stronger than the individual. And so the good of the group, again, not scientific terms, the individual always loses for the group and for the person who's making the money. Same, most of our organizations in society, like every organization's purpose under capitalism is to perpetuate itself. That is its primary purpose. And we rarely ever see anything set up to where sometimes the organization takes a hit so that the individuals can win. So I barely even believe in good groups, but certainly there's no such thing as good cults. And the idea that you can just take the most extreme bad form of group and flip it, same things, just flip it and say it's for the good guys. And that makes a good cult, I think, is a very patriarchal, capitalist, American idea. We can start there. I have a list of 10 commandments for good groups that are not cults that starts by taking my list of cults and reversing it. But I'm certainly not conceited enough to think that is all that I need for a good group. And in fact, I believe that the people that understand oppression the most are the people who are the most oppressed. So the people that lead good groups are not going to look like me, very likely.